Good morning, everybody. 10:25, Saturday, and here I am. Big fight tonight. I don't mean Trump and somebody. I mean Tyson and this other whack job. YouTube versus the old guy. You know, that's kind of the way it is. You know, it starts around 8 o'clock or something like that on Netflix. If you have it, it's going to be probably won't. The fight probably won't get started until 11 or something like that, because as they usually run, they usually put a lot of prelims in. Prelims can last a couple of minutes or whatever. It's to keep you excited and what have you. I have Netflix. I might watch it. I don't know. It depends on what we're doing this evening, what I'm doing this evening. You know, what's on Netflix besides the fight. All right. So, but you know, it'll be an interesting thing. You know, Tyson looks good. You know, but he's 50 some odd years old, and you know, some people have said it's dangerous for him to fight because he's taken a lot of blows to the head. I don't think they hurt his head because I really don't think he was that smart to begin with. So I guess he's broke, so that's why he's doing it. You know, that's usually why fighters fight at that age. I mean, some of them want to get their name back in the newspapers. Some of them are just old, stupid, you know. But we'll wait and see. All right. This day, across the United States, 2 million people marched against the Vietnam War. Now we have, I forget how many people we have in the country now. A lot of people. 350 some odd million people in the United States. I'm thinking of the billions of people in the world. But here's what's going to happen. If some of those people don't get together and force Donald Trump to not resign, but come together a little bit, relax a little bit, you know, and if he gets off on one of his tangents, the United States will be gone before let's go June of next year, and you will begin to lose your rights, you know. Those of you that sit around and say, well, you know, let's wait and see what happens, you're fucked, okay? If you don't get up off your asses and start doing what might or might not be effective, but do something, because if you sit around and wait for it to come, it's going to be too bad. Those of you that supported Trump are racist, probably. That's the only good reason I can come up with for somebody supporting Donald Trump, is that you're somewhat of a racist, because he's going to destroy the economy, especially if he lets Musk handle the government spending and whatnot. And he's going to give the Ukraine, and by doing so, most of Europe probably, to Putin, you know. And from what I'm reading this morning, you're going to see a lot of nuclear weapon proliferation now, because we're not going to be over there to be able to defend everybody. And Trump thinks that's okay, but here's the problem. They're not going to help us, okay? Probably we'll just sit back and watch us, you know, get blown to smithereens, because we fucked them, now they're going to fuck us. It stands to reason. That's the way it usually works, you know, except in marriage, you know. But no, this is it's a bad situation, and you know, I understand people upset with the economy, but that's the same thing that got Hitler started, you know. The economy is basically supply and demand. All right? It's like drugs. Okay, drugs are a prime example of this. Why can't we stop drugs? Because people in every level of life in the United States, at every economic level, want them. Okay? So they're willing to do whatever they have to do to get them, and spend whatever they have to spend them. I looked at the figures, which are, I forget from what year, that Escobar was making something like $28 million, over $200 million a year. Or I forget what he was. He was making some ridiculous sums of money. Why? because people in America want drugs. It's like bars that converted to speakeasies during Prohibition made fortunes. Organized crime made a fortune during the Prohibition era. They became a unified business organization during that period of time. There's the problem with cocaine is it's run by morons, and so you see a lot of violence involved in it. But if they ever get together, they'll be able to run any country they want. But Trump says, I'll invade Mexico if I have to stop the drug trade. You can invade Mexico, all right, but that's not going to stop the drug trade. Okay? For years, remember the movie French Connection? That's where the heroin came. Came through France, into ports along the East Coast, in Canada. Now you say, well, the border's tighter up in Canada. No, it's not. You got a whole stretch up there. If you're willing to walk through it, you can walk through it. And I don't care what kind of electronic devices they have up there. By the time you catch these people, they're gone. The Great Lakes is a great way to get stuff into the United States. Just coming across the lake, okay? It's like a short run in a speedboat or something. It's not. Don't get your, That's heroin, okay? If they have to bring cocaine in that way, it's going to cost more money, all right? But you have meth, okay? Meth is grown in people's backyards, kitchens, outhouses that are used as kitchens. Most every motorcycle gang in the country, the Mongols, the Hells Angels and whatnot, the big ones, support themselves by cooking meth. Apparently it's not that hard. I don't know. I guess you have to have some sort of a chemistry background to do it, to get the meth to the peak point where you want it. But I don't see that Trump is going to have any luck with that at all right? Because he needs them, all right? And speaking of that, if you ever saw the movie Rollerball, okay? Rollerball is where I believe the elites lived on the moon. Guys like Elon Musk lived on the moon in a very high society, and everything they needed was manufactured on the planet Earth, which was nothing more than was controlled by the corporations. Each corporation had a section of the planet, I guess, and they weren't inhibited by any kind of law. So the America was, the planet was just a garbage dump, a wasteland, used for manufacturing, all sorts of things that the people that the rich people had up above. A lot of violence and everything, and they try to dissuade people from thinking about it by bringing along Rollerball. Yeah, it probably works too, because once you take education out of the picture, it's hard to develop leaders, political power brokers or whatever. Not even political power, but leadership, that will actually care, but that's another one of those things that you should see. Rollerball. There are a couple of others out there too. That's the political process. My opinion of AI. Go watch the Schwarzenegger movies. I can't even remember the name of it. Boy, am I getting old. Anyhow, I was reading this article. It's from CBS. Reported that this is three of a few books, but this is the ones that I got. This is two of the ones that I've read personally, and a third one which I've heard about but I haven't read yet, which I'm now going to have to read. But the three books are Handmaid Tales, Orwell's 1984, and Fahrenheit 451. They've all broken into the top 40. All these books are years old. I don't remember. It's been at least 20 years since I bought my first copy of Orwell's 1984. I think I did it in high school, actually, really. I have to go. Hold on a second. Don't anybody go anywhere. Let's see. Orwell's 1984 publish date. Let's see if that comes up with it. If that does it. June 8th, 1949. Okay, so that book's been around a long, long, long time, and it's basically all about the politics that we're experiencing now. The other one is you have Handmaid's Tale. Now, in the Handmaid's Tale, women are used nothing more than for vessels for children for the elite. Okay. So there are a couple of women characters in there that aren't handmaidens, but most of the women are. They're brought into the elite. The elite goes into a room. The guy goes into a room no matter what his age is. He goes into the room, bends her over, bangs her, and that's it. Comes and that's the end of it. All right. Next gets her pregnant, and that's moving on. She has the child. The child goes to wherever they send the children at that point in time. I don't remember all of the book. The last time I read it was 2016, when Trump was starting to make a run for president. That's when I read. The first time I read it was I sat in high school for a book report. Good book, hard to read because some of it's old English, and it's still somewhat difficult to read. Same thing with Orwell. I read Orwell. No, I'm saying Handmaid's Tale. Orwell was the one I read in high school. I don't remember when I read the Handmaid's Tale. I do know I watched the TV series that was on about it. That was interesting. Then I've read excerpts of the book since then. And Fahrenheit 451, I have no idea about. I just took it off the statistics on the. Internet. All right, this was reported by CBS, who probably won't be around much longer. CBS, MSN. I hear Trump is targeting MSNBC when he gets elected, so I don't know where I'm going to get my news from. I hope soon CNN stands can do some of it, but I'm going to get it from people like me, not the Midas Touch Network or some of the other networks that have been brutally critical of Donald Trump, unless they move off coast, like they did back in the days of rock and roll when we had pirate radio. Guys would go out in a tugboat or something, anchor off the coast, 3 miles off the coast, and broadcast rock and roll music into the mainland. They did it in England for a long time, and the United States was doing it. I think that's where Wolfman Jack started. Very famous DJ, in case you've never heard of him, But these are things that are going to happen, I think, I think that both of these books, the two that I have read, are absolutely mandatory if you're going to go up against Donald Trump, And you can't wait to midterms because he might do away with midterms, okay? So then what are you going to do, He might do away with the next election, all right? And let me tell you something. As bad as Trump is, Getz will definitely institute the handmaid. Not Getz, I'm sorry, confused there. Well, Getz will probably do the Orwell book, and Vance will do the Handmaid's Tale. That's all your women are good for. Bend over, take it, take it, have a baby, next, It's probably what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not going to be here I don't think I'm going to last till 4 years or something, Things are breaking down faster than I thought they would, but that's, normal as you get older. I have an appointment with the neurologist, and I asked my wife, I said, did I make the appointment? She said, no. Well, who made the appointment with the neurologist? your doctor. I said, my doctor thinks I'm crazy? That's possible, you know. Who knows, all right? Listen, that's it for me today. I will probably not be on the air tomorrow. You can look for me late at night if you want. You want to see if I put a video up or not. But during the day, I'm going to be doing this sale. And, you know, if I can figure out a way how to record some of what's going on with my phone camera and then get it on the internet, I will do so. Otherwise, you know, I'll see you Sunday. We'll talk some football. All right, good game this weekend, Buffalo and the Chiefs. That's going to be a highlight game, and no matter what happens, I'm going for that game. All right, everybody, have a great one.